Well, all right. We're live now with Shaun and Michael. He's one of the guys. He's here locally with me in the Houston area. Um, Actually met him through a Bigfoot group. I can't remember which group. I think maybe it was South Texas Bigfoot
No,
Investigation. Maybe.
I think it was your Bigfoot group.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
And
I posted something and then you messaged me.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, you posted there a footprint that you had found, and like two
Yeah.
weeks prior, I had found one, and it was just pretty similar. So that's why I messaged you. And even though we haven't gotten together, I think I think we've become pretty good friends on Facebook, and we
Well,
still
we
need to
will
get
soon.
yeah. We need to get out there together, go to the same areas. Because we definitely have had experiences in that same area, similar
Mhm.
experiences. But I know, I guess to begin things off, you are a paranormal researcher or investigator.
Yeah, that's what started with, that and the UFO stuff.
Okay.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah. How'd you get
And
involved in that, or what piqued your interest in start doing that stuff?
well, I never really was a believer very much until around 2008 when my daughter was about to be born,
Mm.
and me and the girl that I was with at the time, we played around with a Ouija board, and nothing. That was my first time ever messing with one. I thought it was a joke. Uh, so we messed around with it, and nothing happened. Like nothing moved or anything like that. But the next night, we had this black shadow like in our room, flying around on the ceiling. It was crazy. Like it was like the size of a soccer ball. There's just this black shadow flying around. You could see it. I mean, it was in the dark, but you could see it. And we were fighting a lot lately around that time too. So we thought maybe it was like feeding off of our negativity.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's what got me started with it. Uh, that was my first paranormal experience. So I was like, holy shit, this is real. This stuff's real. Because that was right around when Ghost Adventures first started too. So I used to watch those shows, and I thought the shows were fake too. And so once I realized that there is something to that stuff, I got a digital recorder, caught my first EVPs, and that's just I've been doing it ever since.
So
Yeah,
was this so the EVPs you caught, were they in the same house?
yeah, in my house that I live in, yeah.
Okay.
You can catch paranormal evidence anywhere. I could go if I can go in Walmart, turn out all the lights, and be the only one in there. I can catch EVPs.
Hmm. So like, what
You
did you
can
catch
prove.
actually?
Man, it's been so long. I couldn't tell you like exactly what I caught. But I've caught some freaky stuff. Like you just ask questions. I started out by asking questions. I think the first name I ever caught was it was a Mexican dude. It was in my room, and his name was Carlito. I kid you not. I was I was playing around with the recorders. I was like, "Is there anybody in here? Tell me your name." And a dude goes, "Carlito." I'm not kidding.
Damn.
This yeah. I was holy shit. And then
So
I've
you, but
always thought,
did you
what's
not
up?
hear it like with your own ears? You had to go back and listen to it on your recorder, or did you hear it audibly?
No, I heard it only on the recorder. See,
Okay.
that's where it's a difference. Uh, when you only hear it on the recorder, it's electronic voice phenomenon. But if you hear it with your own ears and the recorder hears it too, it's a disembodied voice.
Okay.
So that's where the
Okay.
two are different. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah. And then I've also heard a disembodied voice too. I've heard the voice of a little girl in Yorktown Hospital talk directly in my ear. This little girl goes, "Hey," like right in my ear. That was freaky. Those are freakier to me than just like the EVPs.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you ever heard anything like that?
I've never heard like a disembodied voice. When I was married, the house that we were at, it had a lot of paranormal activity. We had our own house, but then we moved to this other house where the original owners, they were the only owners of the house. They died in their 90s.
Mhm.
They bought this. I think the gentleman died. He was like 96, 98 years old when he died, but he had this is the only house him and his wife had ever bought. They lived in for they were newlyweds and got married,
Mhm.
and so when they we moved into the house after they had passed away. Shortly after they had passed away, maybe I say shortly, maybe like 2 years. No one had lived there,
Yeah.
and So right away, I mean, I sat on the bed one day, and I felt like somebody sat down right next to me, you know.
I got a
And then
similar story to that. I'll tell you later.
so then I was laying in bed. It was like it was an early Saturday morning, and the family was in the kitchen. They were making breakfast, you know, my kids, and I felt like I felt the bed get pushed down, and we had a boxer, so I thought, well, maybe it was him. So I kind of sat up, and told him, "Hey, get your ass off the bed," you know. And when
Yeah.
I looked, there was nobody there. So I got up and I went to the kitchen. Like I said, this time we only been in the house like 2 weeks, and I went to the kitchen. And I just said, you know, I think this house is haunted. You know, I just kind of said it just like that. And you know, the whole family turned around and looked at me, and they were like, "What do you mean?" And I told them what happened, and I told them what the other experience. And right away, my oldest was like, "Yeah, this house is haunted, Dad." I said, "Really?" And she goes, "Yeah." She said, "I was laying in bed and I saw this flashlight come out of my closet. It was a real long closet. It had those what do you call those doors? Those accordion style doors.
Mm.
You know, they slide open.
I can't remember what they're called, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, they're like the accordion style.
Hmm.
And so she said a flashlight came out there, and that closet didn't have a light in it, so it wasn't like a light. You know, sometimes a light bulb will go off, you know,
Hmm.
flash real bright, you know. And
I've seen stuff like that on a few occasions.
yeah, so at that time I had just got into researching Bigfoot, so I had told my son, I said, "Hey, go grab the recorder and see if the batteries are working on it," because it had been a while since I used it.
Hmm.
He said, "All right." So he went to my room. Instead of coming to give me the recorder, him and my youngest went into their bedroom, and I didn't know it, but when he came out of the bedroom, he was like white as a ghost, you know.
Really,
And he
that's
had this look.
crazy.
He had this look on his face. He goes, "Dad, you got to hear this. You got to hear this." I said, "What?" He goes, "I went in the room and I asked him a question. I was like, why'd you do that? I didn't tell you to go do that, you know." He says, "Listen,
Hmm.
listen, listen." So he played it and he says, "Is there anybody here with us?" And you can hear a voice go, "Yeah," just like that.
Yep.
Oh man, that was freaky. That was freaky. We all kind of got freaky, but um, yeah. So we had all kinds of experiences in that house. You know, we were all poked or touched at one time or tapped on the shoulder. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love that kind of stuff. It's freaky, but I still like it.
And then I remember one time too. I had, you know, after I got separated, my daughter called me. I had a freezer full of like, man, I had all kinds of meat. I had like deer meat, hog meat, duck, rabbit, all kinds of meat. So
Mhm.
much. My daughter cooked the duck one day. She goes, "Hey, Dad, I made some duck tacos. You want to come by and grab one real quick?" You know. I said, "Okay." So I stopped by, and her boyfriend, who's not her fiance at the time, was there, and we started telling him about some of the stuff that had been going on. And we had
Mhm.
talked about the faucet would come on sometimes in the sink, or even the faucet in the shower. And he's like, he's just kind of like shaking his head because he doesn't believe in that stuff. And lo and behold, the kitchen sink comes on. Right, we were talking. We were standing right in the kitchen talking, and the sink comes on. That was pretty funny.
See, and it takes force to do something like that.
Yeah,
Like the kitchen sink doesn't just come on by itself, you know.
yeah, and like the one in the shower. The shower was the kind you had the knob, you had to pull it out, you
Hmm.
know, to turn it on. Then you had to turn it hot or cold, whichever way. But yeah,
Did you see that video I posted last with the doors, the loud boom?
yeah, yeah.
That shit, I don't know what that was because there was nothing back there.
Hmm.
Yeah, the video didn't pick it up, but when we were sitting in that jail cell, uh, in the video you can hear me talking about this light that I saw.
Yeah.
Uh, every jail cell in that building, there's four on the side that we were on, and then on the other side of the wall there's another four.
Hmm.
So so there's like a little square window on each cell wall, and it has like a piece of glass with it there, which used to have a light in it, so it goes to the other cell too. So one light bulb lights up both
Oh,
cells.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're sitting in the cell, and there's no electricity in that cell. Uh, and then I'm looking up, and then I see a light. I see a light in that little square window, and it looks like somebody taking a flashlight like this and just moving it around in circles
Yeah.
like that. And I'm like, I'm just staring at it, like, what the fuck is that light? You know? And then all the that's what got me to get up and walk around and check the other side.
Yeah.
And then that boom,
Hmm.
and that scared me more than my girlfriend. Like you saw in the video, I was ready to go.
That's funny. What jail was that, or was it a jail or prison, or what was it?
That's a Lavaca County Jail. It's in Hallettsville.
Okay.
About an hour and a half from here.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe one day you can go with me down there because I know Deborah, the owner.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah, man. I'd
Yeah,
love to go there. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a really cool place, man. But that place is active. Like,
Hmm.
I caught a image of the sheriff that used to run the place.
Yeah.
I was just snapping photos around the building, and he was in one of the photos.
Hmm.
I'll send it to you on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, my cousin went because he does this from time to time too. But he went
Yeah,
somewhere in Victoria. There's like a
Black Swan Inn.
I think that's what it is. Yeah. And
Yeah,
uh yeah, he you got to get of course you got to get permission to go there too to do that kind of stuff. But they got permission to go.
yeah.
And he said they were packing their stuff up. They were getting ready to go. Everything was unplugged and packed up. And he said the whole night they hadn't caught anything. And then he heard, the disembodied voice of a woman say, "No, wait, don't go." Just he said, just clear like that. He was
And they didn't get to catch it on
no,
audio.
no. He said they
Damn.
were putting everything up already. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty
man.
crazy.
I've had some freaky experiences in those places. I've
Hmm.
had a ball of light, like a ball of light, like a light orb,
Mm-hmm.
uh, fly right at my face.
Really?
Yes,
Where
like
was that at?
at the jail.
Oh, the gym. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was actually outside the jail taking a pee around the corner. I was walking outside the jail. It was the middle of the night, and I'm at the corner of one of the building taking a piss, and this ball of light flies like across the yard right at my face.
Dang.
Like, yeah, it tricked me out. It took me a second to register. Like, did that just happen? Like, what the fuck?
Hmm.
Yeah, they say there's orbs in the Sam Houston forest that'll follow people around.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I've never seen them, but I've heard from. I don't know if you're familiar with Big Dog.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I know he said he's seen them. I think he may have him recorded also.
really.
Um, yeah,
I'd like to see that.
yeah. Didn't you have some paranormal experience out there too in Sam Houston?
Yeah, on some of my videos, you can hear EVPs.
Really?
Uh, yeah, there's one structure that me and my girlfriend were standing right by this structure that I found. It just looked like an odd teepee
Hmm.
type thing, and we're just looking at it, and my camera picks up somebody going, Psst. And we're like literally 3 miles down Four Notch Loop. We hadn't seen a person in 2 hours.
Hmm.
Uh, so yeah, and something goes, Psst, and you can hear me on the video. I'm like, did you hear that? I just heard a voice, and yeah, you go back and listen to the audio, and somebody goes, Psst. And
Hmm.
then there's that other time that I went with two of my buddies. I don't know if you saw that video. Took my paranormal team,
No,
Bigfoot. Yeah.
no.
So I took them out there, and they had the parabolic dish and all kind of equipment and stuff like that. And my camera picked up a good bit of EVPs, like a female voice in the woods.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah, pretty weird.
That's
You'd
pretty
be
weird.
amazed if you just, like people record all the time. If they go back and really just scrutinize the audio and listen to it closely,
Yeah.
people probably catch EVPs all the time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Speaking of
Uh,
EVPs, I bought the best EVP recorder on the planet.
what is that?
It's called the Panasonic DR60,
Okay.
and it's literally rated like everybody wants one.
Hmm.
You try to guess how much they go for on eBay.
I don't know, $100.
$3,000.
3 grand?
Yeah,
Jesus. I was trying to lowball. That's where maybe you got a good deal on it.
yeah. I still can't believe I spent that much on it, but I spent 700 on it.
Oh yeah, you got a good deal on it then.
Yeah. So if I ever want to sell it, I can make my money back
Oh yeah, that's pretty
easily.
good.
But yeah, like so since I got this EVP recorder, man, like he catches EVPs like crazy.
Right. Hmm.
Yeah. And that's why Panasonic stopped making them. It was in the 90s. Uh, Panasonic was making these, and people started reporting picking up weird voices on them, and Panasonic like stopped production on them. And there's literally only like I don't know how many thousand made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's probably not a whole lot of them around, so that's
Wow.
why they go for 3,000 on eBay
So why did they stop making them?
because they didn't because it was picking up EVPs.
Hmm.
Like people couldn't use it for what they intended it for, and
Okay.
it was they looked at it as a defective recorder because
Okay.
it picked up voices that people didn't know where they're coming from.
Hmm.
Yeah, if you look it up, like Google Panasonic RRDR60
Hmm.
and just read about it, you'd be amazed, like
Hmm.
the story behind it.
That'd be cool to get out
That's
to the Sam Houston and see what you could pick up.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
in a minute, maybe I'll try to catch some like right now
Hmm.
while I'm on the video.
Okay. That sounds cool. And
I'll try it. I'm gonna try it right now. Hold on. Is there anybody watching?
it's like 9 people watching, 7 people watching.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna try to ask a couple questions
Okay.
and see if anything comes through. The thing with this recorder, the only bad thing about the recorder is it catches EVPs like crazy, but they're not always super clear. So a lot of them are scratchy sounding,
Okay.
and then sometimes you'll get clear ones. So it's really hard to tell what some of them are saying. But and also it's voice activated, so
Okay.
it basically like you ask a question and then it's not recording anything until it starts picking something up.
Okay.
That's another reason why everybody wants this recorder. All right. Hello? Is there anybody here with me right now? Ah, shit, it wasn't recording. Hold on. All right, let's try this again. Hello? Is there anybody here with me right now? I got you on video live. If you want to tell me your name so everybody can hear you, that would be really cool. What is your name? All right. Now we'll listen back and see if it caught anything. Hello. Is there anybody here with me right now? I got you on video live. If you want to tell me your name so everybody can hear you, that would be really cool. What is your name? All right. It didn't pick up much on that one, but it sounded like it picked up something at the end.
Yeah.
Did you hear it?
Yeah. After you asked, what is your name?
Yeah, when I said, "What is your name?" it had like a little bit of a whisper.
Yeah.
Right now. I got you on video live. If you want to tell me your name so everybody can hear you, that would be really cool. What is your name?
Yeah.
All right. So it's pretty strange. This thing really does pick them up. Like, and not only that, but this house. I'm at my girlfriend's house right now, and it's pretty active. We've had some crazy stuff happen here. We always
That's
have
pretty
this
cool.
something peeking around the corner at us when we're
Hmm.
watching TV in the living room.
Hmm.
All right, I'm gonna try one more time. If there's anybody here right now, can you come tell me your name and this thing in my hand? Who's with me right now? If you can hear me, can you say hello? All right, check it. If there's anybody here right now, can you come tell me your name and this thing in my hand? Did you hear that? Me right now? If you can hear me, can you say hello? All right, check it. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Something just trying to talk. See, the thing about this thing is like they'll try to talk, but it's really hard for them to talk, like because they spirits are energy. They're like a form, like a ball of energy somehow. And I don't know how they do it, but they're able to manipulate electronics.
Hmm.
So it's not easy for them to come through super clear all the
Yeah.
time. But something came through right there.
If there's anybody here right now, can you come tell me your name? Thing in my hand. With me right now.
It almost sounds like it says yes, like it yells yes almost.
Yeah.
Or yes or yeah maybe. But yeah, pretty cool, man. That's why everybody wants this recorder.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
That was kind of freaky, actually.
You want me to try it again?
Yeah.
I'll
See
try
what
one
happens.
more time. I don't want to bore anybody, but
No, man,
it's
this is
really
good
fun.
stuff. This is good stuff.
When you can catch, that's the thing about this recorder. You could sit there and, I mean, I've never had so much fun catching EVPs like I have with this recorder because you can pretty much have conversations with them.
Hmm.
Like, eventually, once you get them talking, you can have back and forth conversations. All right, try it again. If there's anybody here with me right now, I need you to come tell me your name into this box in my hand. It has a red blinking light on it. Just come tell me your name. How many spirits are in this house? What year is it? Can you tell me how you died? All right. I never like to record for too long because you record for 20 minutes and you catch nothing, and it just becomes a pain in the ass. All right, here we go.
If there's anybody here with me right now, I need you to come tell me your name. It's the box in my hand. It has a red blinking light on it. Just come tell me your name.
That was something on your
How
audio.
many spirits are in this house?
Did you hear that?
Right here.
It was a whisper,
Blinking light on it. Just come tell me your name.
right?
How many spirits are in this house? Right here in hand. It has a red blinking light on it. Just come tell me.
So that little beeping sound is something on your audio that it picked up, but after that, it says something.
Okay. How many spirits are in this house? What year is it?
I don't know what I'm.
Blinking light on it.
I think it says keep talking or something like that.
Hmm.
Sounds like it says keep talking.
Just come tell me your name. If
Yeah,
there's
see what it.
anybody here with me right now, I need you to come tell me your name. It's this box in my hand. It has a red blinking light on it. Just come tell me your name. How many spirits are in this house? What year is it? Can you tell me how you died? All right.
Nothing else on that. But yeah, there was something there. It was like a whisper of some kind.
Hmm.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
thing's awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say 'cause I know I heard feedback on my end, and I think that's what it was.
Yeah, that beeping sound.
Yeah.
It's some kind of whisper there. I don't know. I've never had so much fun catching EVPs.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
And then there's things that we use called ghost boxes.
Mhm.
Do you know what a ghost box is?
That's where they picks up like words and stuff, right? Or
Yeah, like have you ever watched Ghost Adventures?
yeah, it's like a little box. It's like it like goes through all these frequencies, right, real fast or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
So the way a ghost box works is it scans radio frequencies.
There you go.
So it's basically modified. Like you can modify almost any radio to do it.
Mhm.
It's modified to sweep through all the radio stations. So it'll go all through the whole band in a matter of like 10, 15 seconds.
Mhm.
So the way you know that you catch paranormal evidence with a ghost box is you ask the questions and you get the direct replies. So when you get a direct reply, you know that that's paranormal for the most part. And when you hear a full sentence, like speaking over 10 to 15 radio stations, in the same voice,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so it'll be like rolling through all the stations and it picks up a full sentence while it goes over 20, 15, 20 radio stations. So it's pretty, that's like almost it's undeniable that something's manipulating it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to love doing the ghost boxes. You can see all that on my channel too.
Okay.
The
So do you have
ghost
like?
boxes will freak you out though, man. It's kind of like a digital Ouija board. It's
Hmm.
kind of like, yeah. And they always say negative shit. Like when you, for some reason, when you're on a ghost box, they will say the most negative stuff. Like they
Hmm.
talk about, uh, they'll talk shit about you. Like I've been called a fag. I mean, they've called me all kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Tell you to shut up, turn it off.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I've had them say my name. I've had them tell me their full name, like first and last name. It's
Hmm.
crazy. Yeah. But I still, even though I do all this, I still can't say who I'm speaking to. Like,
Yeah.
I can't say if these are human spirits or if they're demonic or something imitating something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You,
you never want to trust what you hear.
okay. Yeah, I kind of want to ask you that too. Well, first of all, like, has anything ever followed you home?
Yes,
Secondly, what about demonic spirits? Have you ever been with like? Pretty sure you've been in the presence of that.
I think so. Like, there's a video on my channel where I was asking questions on the ghost box, and I asked who I was speaking to, and it said, demon. And I was like, demon? I don't want to speak to any demon. And he called himself Demon the Great.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I think a lot of the demon stuff is just whoever we are speaking to. I think it's them trying to fuck with us.
Hmm.
Yeah, because they can be very deceiving. Like whoever's coming through, they
Yeah.
lie. It's crazy.
Hmm.
But I think the demonic thing, either they're all demons or the demons are rare. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I think either whoever we're speaking to, like they're all demonic of some kind, or they're a mix of all kind of different entities. That's actually what I do believe. I think
Okay.
it's a mix of all kind of like human, uh, maybe demonic, maybe angelic, like a mix of all different kinds.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, because some of the voices, man, they don't sound human. Like y'all
Yeah.
get voices that'll almost sound like the way demons are portrayed in movies or something.
Yeah.
Like that deep voice that's just too deep to be human.
Hmm.
So yeah, uh,
So
there's all kind of freaky stuff out there, man.
do you have like a favorite spot you like going to, or a favorite place yet you like to investigate?
Uh, in Houston, uh, cemeteries really, because there's really nowhere else to go. Uh,
Okay.
but when it comes to like with my team and
Hmm.
stuff like that, hospitals.
Okay.
Hospitals are the most active. Like there's a place called Yorktown Hospital,
Hmm.
and it was actually on Ghost Adventures season 11, and it's owned by the same guy that owns the Black Swan Inn.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but that place is super active.
What about Patterson Road? You ever been out there, or have you ever heard of it? Patterson Road,
But that's Patterson Road. That's like Blue Light Cemetery.
by Bear Creek.
Yeah, I've been out there a lot. I
Okay.
haven't messed around on Patterson Road a lot, but I've messed around with the Blue Light Cemetery.
Okay. Any good?
Yeah,
Anything good
it's
happening out there?
affiliated. Huh?
Okay. Anything good out there as far as what you captured anything?
People say that there's activity out there, but I haven't caught a whole lot. Uh, oh, Demon Road Cemetery, that one in Huntsville. That
Okay.
one's pretty active.
Okay.
That's a good place to go. Um, Man, we were out there with my team. We didn't catch it on camera, but we saw a full body apparition just like floating across the cemetery, and it
Hmm.
was crazy. As we're walking up to it, like we're walking up to it, and it just starts shrinking and it disappears into nothing. It was crazy.
That's great.
That
Uh,
place is freaky, man. You go out there at night, and you got like bright moonlight, just like no. And dude, not only that, but we saw a UFO out there at night too.
hmm.
Me and the team, there's like this field behind the cemetery, and we went out in the field because there's like this island of woods. It's like a small island of woods in the middle of the field, and for some reason we were just drawn to it. And as we're heading towards it, we see this weird like green light like do this weird spin and take off.
Hmm.
That place is just freaky.
Yeah.
Have you ever been there?
No, I've been out to Patterson Road, but I've never been out there.
Okay.
I know there's a place out. I can't remember what it's called, but it's on YouTube too, where people go down this road and they see a bunch of orbs and stuff. People describe it like seeing like a motorcycle coming at you, but you're never meeting it. It just that light just stays way out there.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I've been wanting to go there.
I'm not sure if it's in the Sour Lake area or not. That's where I think it's in East Texas. I want to say
Every state seems to have like this phantom light story on a road, because I know my friend Alex in Alabama, they have a phantom light, and he actually caught that one. It's just like these headlights, and you see them in the distance, and then they just disappear. Yeah,
that's crazy.
I can't remember if it's headlights or if it's one light, but yeah, I know where there's a place not far from here that's supposed to have some kind of light like that that I've been wanting to check out.
Yeah. So you start talking about the UFO. You investigate that or two?
Yeah,
or?
every day. Like pretty much every day after work. When I get home, I sit outside and I stare at the sky for hours.
Really?
Just hanging out.
What did you do that?
Because after seeing them, man, it's just like when you catch them on video, I can't wait to catch another one.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of addicted to catching them, and it's just an addiction, I guess, kind of like the paranormal. It's just one more form of the paranormal for me to investigate, and I don't have to go far to do
it. Have you ever actually seen a craft like a UFO? Like, no doubt about it, this is.
Yeah. Like some of the ones that I've filmed, for sure. It's just the camera just doesn't do it justice. Right. Like that cluster that I filmed last. I don't know if you saw that video of a cluster of them.
Yeah.
There was like 8 or 9 of them. Whatever those things were. I mean, I've seen them move crazy. Like I've seen them move so fast that like it would break every bone in our body. So they can't be, whatever they are, they can't be human.
Yeah, or at least there's some kind of
technology of some kind.
Yeah, some kind of gravity field or something that they created.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what the terminology is for that kind of stuff. But several years ago, man, this is probably a good 16, 17 years ago. At least that, maybe even a little bit longer. It was me and my father-in-law. We were out in Galveston. We're along the seawall. We're on the jetties fishing. And he's probably 50, 60 feet away from me to my right. And I was sitting out there with a rod and reel, just looking at the water. And it was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And he says, "Hey, Joe." And I turn my head, look at him, and he points up and goes, "Hey, look over there. So I look up, and there's this damn round disc, man, 300-400 feet right above us. And just ever so slowly, just barely moving along. No noise, no anything. And we're like maybe a couple miles away from the airport. And you can hear those little planes coming in, from that distance. And this thing was right above us. I mean, it was just cruising, just very, very slow. It probably took like 5 minutes for it to move,
Yeah.
And, but crazy. I mean, and that's what I tell people all the time. I said, if a professional baseball player was out there, they probably could have hit it with a baseball,
Really?
I mean, we got a good look at it. We got a real good look at it.
What side of town do you live on?
Towards the north side of Houston,
Or like Spring area?
Not quite the Spring. I'm still
okay.
I'm still within Houston,
Because Northwest Houston has always been a hot spot.
You know what? My daughter, she went to go pick up my ex-wife one day, and she saw one of those. Her and my 2 daughters both saw it. That trapezoid type that they always talk about. Yeah, she saw that. Yeah, it was like it wasn't quite a triangle, but yeah, she saw it. And also when she was going, they were going towards Raymondville, and it was night. Well, it was early morning, night, whatever. And she saw a light. She said she at first she thought maybe it was a reflection from her phone on the window, But she looked down. Her phone was turned face down. So when she looked up at it again, she says it was like cruising along with the car, and also it just shot back the opposite direction. She said that the way it took off was like almost like it was skipping, But she said
crazy,
she said the way it actually moved, it reminded her of that movie Jumper, the way he would like jump across the room,
Yeah.
She said that's how it moved, and she goes, it just did it till it got out of sight.
That's crazy.
That was the same shape, that trapezoid shape,
So those light orbs that I'm always filming that I post videos of, and it's just like a little ball of light and stuff. If you look long enough, man, and you stare at those things, I get some people trying to be like, oh, those are satellites. That's a satellite. That's a drone. Those are not satellites and drones.
Yeah.
Like these things, whatever these orbs are, I think they're spiritual in nature. They're not just they're not a physical thing. I think maybe they might be able to make themselves physical and dematerialize or something. Because man, if you look at these things, you could see them almost every night. I see at least one, or at least every couple days. I'll see a few of them. Have you ever seen the little balls of light? I've seen a lot of them over Houston.
No, I don't look up at the sky that much,
Yeah.
So.
But about a month ago, me and my girlfriend were sitting outside, and you know how I'm always filming those things. Well, we saw, I kid you not, we counted 20 of them flying like back to back.
Wow.
They were just flying across the sky, but they were so high it wasn't even worth I tried to get them all on film, but they're just so high they look like little dots. Man, those things are everywhere over Houston. Those little light orbs. I don't know what they are. I think they're literally some kind of spiritual type thing. I almost think they're like the size of a beach ball too.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really creepy, man. Like these things really got me tripped out. They're not satellites. Like I used to think they were, but I filmed so many of them doing different things. Like I filmed them stopping in midair. I filmed them where there'll be like a ball of light and it'll just go and turn into a bigger ball of light and then shrink back down. Yeah. I've filmed them taking off real fast. So they're definitely not satellites.
Yeah.
It really bugs me when I get those satellite people.
Yeah.
And then the people that always want to call everything a drone. It's like, man, sometimes there's things you just can't explain.
Yeah. And so how did you get involved with the Bigfoot stuff? What made you start doing that?
When I learned that they were here in East Texas, okay. I've always been interested in the Bigfoot stuff, and I thought it was just up north. And then somebody had mentioned it, that they were down in East Texas, and then I'm like, oh, cool, I was thinking northeast Texas. That's what I saw first, and then all of a sudden I'm here in the Sam Houston forest. So I was like, oh shit, it's on. Yeah, so I really need to get back into that though. It's been a while. If you notice, I don't post the paranormal stuff on my I don't post the ghost hunting stuff on my channel that much because people just don't watch it. When I post the UFO and Bigfoot stuff, I get a lot more people interested.
Really?
In the content. Yeah, I've got some amazing paranormal evidence if people went on there to look. But man, I got videos that are 5 years old that don't have as many views as 2-month-old videos.
Yeah.
People just people don't get it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paranormal's weird. It's fun, but it's a pain in the ass to edit the videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. What got you into Bigfoot?
I've always been interested in everything like UFOs and the paranormal and Bigfoot, but I was young. I was maybe 8 or 9 years old, and there was a gentleman that lived across the street. He actually worked with my dad, and so especially during the summertime, we were always across the street. And this guy, he had so many stories about paranormal and UFOs, and Bigfoot stuff. I don't know if he made them up on the spot or not, but if he did, man, he did a good job of it because he
Yeah.
would tell you these stories, about there was a guy.
The way to tell if somebody's lying is if their story stays consistent. If they change it around, then you know they're bullshitting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, I mean, he always had different stories. He would talk about his own experiences, and and those stories he told quite a bit. He never changed them. But yeah, he got me into it, and I remember being in elementary school. There was a book in the library. I checked out this book. It had a picture of Bigfoot on the cover. I checked that book out. I remember cutting grass for extra money so I could go to the bookstore and buy a book on paranormal or whatever. I had this one book. It kind of covered everything from Bigfoot to paranormal stuff. It even had a chapter in there like on that spontaneous human combustion. I remember that.
That's an interesting subject.
Yeah. But it had a chapter on that or chapter 2 on that stuff, and so that was pretty cool. And that was like one of my favorite books that I had actually owned. So I was interested into that stuff, and once again into high school and got involved in other stuff, sports and girls, and got my own job. I kind of put that off the wayside. Then after
I used to be a musician. Or when I started the paranormal is when I stopped playing music, pretty much.
Oh, okay. And then I got married. Man. Yeah. Then I got married. I had kids, and so that all that stuff kind of got put to the side. Then I guess once my kids were like in their early teens, that's when the Bigfoot stuff started coming out again, and it kind of piqued my interest. And I know, those shows are they are what they are. They're the early Bigfoot. You don't take them too serious, but I used to like listening to the witnesses at least.
Yeah,
and it's cool to see some of those witnesses, and then you meet them in person, at a conference or something.
It's just a shame that there's so many of those Bigfoot shows that are blatantly fake. It's like that. What's that show that used to be out like maybe 5, 6 years ago, 7 years ago? It was just a bunch of these. They take a bunch of rednecks and they're like,
no, hillbillies.
Yeah, and they're like, there's a Squatch out there. I know it.
Yeah,
and it just I don't know.
Well,
but,
I would watch them because they were entertaining. But if you watch those shows to get information, or if you watch them because you thought they were true, then
I would like to see more serious ones.
Yeah, because
it's a serious subject that I think people should really pay much more attention to.
Yeah, and stuff like the Dogman stuff. When I started hearing about that stuff, I was like, what the hell? There's something else out there besides the damn Bigfoot. So
they say they're in Sam Houston Forest.
Yeah. And I've seen people who found tracks. My buddy, I don't want to say his name, but the one we were talking before we started recording, he found a track. He's got a picture of a weird looking track, man.
Does his name start with a G?
No. He was the one I was talking to before. I was telling you about. He saw the U.S. Marshal out there and stuff.
Yeah, man. I don't know. What do you think about the Dogman? You believe in the Dogman?
I've talked to people who've seen it. A friend of mine named Jacob.
I'm definitely open to the possibility.
Yeah, there's a friend of mine named Jacob. I know some people probably know who he is. He's the one who pulled up on the long side of the road. He was outside of I'm gonna say Hillsboro, Waco area, something like that, up around Dallas. They saw one laying on the side of the road. Yeah, man. They put up right up on it. I forgot he was on Britton Sawin's show. I believe. I want to say that's what show he was on. And that's how I met him.
That'd be scary, man. Big dog on his freaking hind legs.
Yeah. But as far as that goes, too, I think there's not just a physical being, but I think there's also maybe some kind of spiritual entity.
Yeah, definitely think Sam Houston Forest has stuff more than just Bigfoot for sure.
Yeah. My neighbor, the one I told you, he would tell me all these stories. He told me one night he was a teenager. He was going out. His mom didn't want him going out. They got into a big argument. And he said he cussed his mom out pretty good,
Mm-hmm.
And he basically told his mom off, and he left out of the house. And they lived out in the middle of nowhere. He said on his way back home, and he was drunk. He was 15, 16 years old. He was trying to get into his house, and all the doors were locked. So he went around the back trying to get into the back door. And he said he heard this growling. And he turned around and said there was this big ass wolf. That's the only thing he could describe it. He said it was very big, had red glowing eyes, was just growling at him. And man, he said
I often wonder. I often wonder if like Dogman has just been exaggerated, but like it's just a giant dog, like some kind of wolf hybrid of some kind or something.
Well, the ones that are on their two legs and running on their hind legs, it's got me wondering. Yeah. There's a belief out there that these things could just be a big primate, kind of like a baboon, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had something big like that, a primate, which a lot of people believe that's what, Bigfoot, I think it's a primate,
They say it sounds like howler monkeys out there at night sometimes.
Yeah. We've definitely heard that. When we're talking about that 4-Notch Road area, my buddy Shane.
I need to show you that spot. I need to show you that spot where I go to.
We were out there one day, and there was me, Shane, and my buddy Ernie. And something I tell people don't do, I tell people what I was doing, but don't do it. Because someone told me to do it or try it and see what kind of result I'll get. And I'll never
making a baby sound?
No, I had a dog whistle. I was blowing this fucking dog whistle.
That's like where it's silent. It's silent to us, right?
Yeah. Okay. And so we're out there. I only blew like 4 or 5 times. Man, we got this growl come back at us. Man, it was a loud, deep growl. Ooh. It was a growl I've never heard before or since then. So
that's creepy, man. Maybe you should bring it next time we go.
Yeah. I'll send you out there. You can blow it all you want.
just give me your gun for a minute.
Yeah.
I heard if you make baby sounds that it can draw them in too.
Yeah. But I think maybe if you got like a portable Bluetooth speaker and set it out there, my buddy Ernie had one, and we were camped out, and he was on the other side, and we put on the other side of this pond, and man, it picked up pretty good. We were a couple hundred feet away, easy, and we were playing it. You could hear it back there going off. We were playing the Ohio screens, I believe, the Ohio House. We were playing those, and the guy from the Trail Coalition came up to us, see what we were doing. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Man, so there's probably all kind of ways you can draw them in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been out there
do you want to though?
We've been out there twice. It was like 2:00 in the morning, and we had the game warden roll up on us. Yeah,
in the middle of the night.
Yeah, in the middle of the night. He knew right where we were at. Come up to us, asked us what we were doing. So we're like, yeah, we're just out here. Listening to sounds of nature. And he says, you ain't hear anything you're not supposed to be hearing, are you? I said, no, I don't think so. Yeah.
I wonder what he meant by that.
Yeah, but he had a big old smile when he said it. He had a big smile when he said it. And
you know what else I heard? I heard that out there on some of the trails, they have ground sensors where they know when people are out there.
Yeah. I'm sure they do.
You think?
Yeah. Someone had posted a picture one time of cameras that were up on this big metal post, and they had like 3 or 4 cameras facing different directions. Yeah.
I bet they got pictures of all kind of shit, like people taking a dump.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe they got them out there for poachers. I don't know, but who knows?
I think it's probably I think it's good to have them out there, because what if somebody like got murdered out there or something? They would at least have maybe some footage of a person of interest, like walking by, or something. Yeah, that's always a thought, man. When I'm out there, is always a thought crossing some path with some weirdo.
Yeah, and supposedly I've heard that the cartel runs through there too. So who knows? That's why I always take a pistol, man. I ain't too much worried about anything else other than people.
Yeah. Hogs.
Hogs. Yeah. Even a hog will run from you if they get a chance, unless you whistle at them.
Yeah. I didn't expect it to look right at me and then run at me. Yeah, I wonder how big it was.
I don't know. I still like that video. That was a pretty funny video. I can't believe you whistled at it though.
Dude, it was crazy, man. Because I was walking down the creek and I walked up on them. There was at least 6 or 7 of them. That day that I caught the day that I caught that weird scream is the day I walked up on a little piglet. It was like a little one. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
He scurried away fast. You could hear the big ones in the distance.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That was not far from where I got that scream.
Hmm.
You know where that big down tree? You know where the tree is that's down, the big dead one?
Yeah.
It goes
Yeah.
across the path.
Yeah.
That's right around the area. I was a little further in past that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You wasn't very far at all. I think they actually chopped that one up now.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. I think they got it chopped up now.
Yeah. So I was about maybe another 200 or 300 yards past that, and that's where the scream happened.
Cool, man. Yeah. So we got a few more minutes left. If I don't know if you want to tell people how to get in touch with you or your YouTube channel. Or...
Yeah, sure. My YouTube channel, you just type Paranormal Shaun, and you spell it with a U, Shaun, and you'll see a Bigfoot. You'll see a picture of Bigfoot. So Paranormal Shaun, and you see the picture of Bigfoot. It's not hard to find.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have Shaun on here a lot more often. I want him actually, help me interview people and stuff like that.
Smash that like button, like and subscribe.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah, because I got a lot of people in the paranormal field and UFO field, but I'd love to have Shaun, co-host this with me. And I was thinking about recording. I guess we could still record and do interviews, but I just like doing it live. I don't know why.
I'm cool with live. Live is cool for me.
Yeah.
I need to bring you on a ghost hunt though one day, man, so you can like see how we do it with all the equipment and stuff.
Yeah.
Because we have all kind of gear. We have gear that there's a thing called a REM pod. All right, so you know how like some people use those paranormal equipment with like a little detector and it detects electromagnetic frequencies.
Okay. Yeah.
Stuff like that. Well, we have those.
Is that an EMF?
Yeah.
Okay.
EMF meter, and it just detects the amount of EMF, and so they say that that's what spirits are made of, so you can detect them if they're close. Well, they have other things called like a REM pod, and it puts out its own frequency. So if anything breaks that frequency, like if anything comes close to it and breaks the frequency, then you can know something's paranormal too. Okay. So they make things that not only detect them, but they like something can walk into it and make the device go off. It's kind of cool.
Okay.
Yeah, there's so many different pieces of device of equipment. Like they have static detectors. See, I think the spirits, whatever these are, they're made up of static electricity and mix of static electricity and EMF. Because I've been touched by them, and literally like when they touch you, it feels like you're being plugged into a battery. It's kind of weird. Yeah. Like I've literally had the one touch my arm, and it literally, the feeling traveled up my arm and then engulfed my whole body. And and it felt like I was plugged up to a damn battery. It was crazy. And then after that on my recording, I go, who touched me? And then a voice goes, she did.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was like validation.
That's pretty cool. We had, my son was sitting at home one day, and he was watching TV, and he says that all of a sudden, out of the corner of his eye, he caught some movement, and he was sitting. He had his arm, he had his arm sitting on the arm of the couch, and when he looked off to his right to see that movement, he said there was this smoky gray figure. It actually crouched down, and it had his finger out like that. And it just, he said, it barely touched his arm. He said, as soon as it touched him, he said, all the hair on his arms just stood up,
Yep.
He said, but it wasn't
that's
from
where I think the static electricity.
Yeah. And he said, as soon as it touched him, it disappeared, and all his whole arms just lit up.
That's badass.
Yeah. And recently, because he's in the Marine Corps, so recently he was at the house, and he said the door was shaking to his bedroom. And he kind of looked up, and he said there's nobody else in the house but him and his family. And he got up, he loaded his AR, and he said the door started shaking again. And he went through the whole house, and he was down. There was nobody there. Yeah.
That's crazy. So remember the story earlier you were telling about how you said felt somebody sit on the bed
Yeah.
or whatever. Well, my girlfriend had a cat. She had a cat she loved a lot. I mean, she had this cat for a long time. And I kid you not, like on a regular basis, I feel something jump on the bed when we're laying in bed watching TV and stuff. I literally feel like, you know, that feeling if a cat jumps on the bed,
Yeah.
that little plop. I feel it all the time by my feet. It's
Hmm.
crazy. Yeah.
That's, yeah. Yeah. You know, even our dog at the time, he would, he'd be eating, and then he would just
Hmm.
stop and just look up like that and look into the other room, and sometimes he would walk
Yeah,
into the other
man.
room. You know.
Pay
Yeah.
attention to that stuff. Like a lot of people think when they see things out of the corner of their eye move or something like that. I, I think after my experience, like 8, 9 times out of 10, it's something, you know, out of the corner of your eye that you really did see moving.
Hmm.
That stuff is, I think paranormal is more frequent than people really
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, imagine when you're in a giant crowd at like a football arena and you're looking at all those people. How many of those people could be like a spirit, an apparition?
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And, and
Crazy
I've
to
heard
think
stuff
about.
like that. Where like people
Yeah.
will like go somewhere and there's only one way in and one way out, and they see somebody down there, or when they come back,
Yeah.
the person's no longer there. Yeah.
Oh, my friend JP, we're not friends anymore, but that's another story. But him and his wife literally at the jail that I was telling you about earlier, they saw a doppelganger of me. Like,
Really?
yeah, I walked down a hallway and then I turned to the left to go towards these particular jail cells,
Hmm.
and they both literally uh say that they saw me go right and they followed me to the right and
Hmm.
they said I wasn't there
Hmm.
and I had gone left. It was weird. Yeah.
Hmm.
That place will freak you out. You'll lose track of time and everything.
Really?
Yeah, you'll have like time lost. Like several people have had an experience when they go into the sheriff's office,
Hmm.
uh, where they lose track of time and they
Wow.
don't like remember what happened. Like a whole hour will pass and it'll feel like 10 minutes.
Damn. Damn.
Yeah, I haven't experienced it there yet, but I know a couple people who have.
Hmm. Um, kind of. I want to talk to you about something. I almost forgot. I'm glad you kind of brought that up, though. What about Hat Man? Have you heard anything about Hat Man, or do you know the entity Hat Man?
Hat Man?
Yeah, Hat Man.
Wait,
People. It's a guy like in a long black trench coat wearing a hat, like a fedora type hat.
yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah,
Um, but I don't know. Like, is how long has that thing been around? Like
it's been
the
around for quite
story,
a while. It's been around quite a
longer
while.
than creepypasta? Like longer than the creepypasta website?
I would say so. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I've heard of this thing maybe I don't know 20 years ago plus. Yeah, yeah,
Because
more.
I
Yeah,
believe there could be things like that. You know, like the Slender Man
yeah.
story or whatever. You know, they say it was created on creepypasta, but I think literally like people can people can imagine these things into reality.
Kind of manifest them or into reality.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so a friend of mine that I work with, I've known him for about 18 years. Um, he had a house, and several back when I first met him, he told me about they had just moved into this house, him and his wife, and there was some of the things that creepy shit would be going on. I remember one day he came to work. He's like, "Yeah, last night, because his brother-in-law worked with us too." He goes, "Last night when I pulled into the driveway, I'm sitting in the driveway." And he goes, "Nobody was home. I was just having a beer in the driveway." And he goes, "I saw a figure walk because he has like this big bay window.
Hmm.
He saw a figure walk across his kitchen." He's like, "What the fuck? There's nobody there." So he called his brother-in-law. His brother-in-law lived like 2 streets away, and they both went inside with guns and everything, looking in the house, couldn't find anything. And then he said one day he was at the house again. He was in his bedroom, and he was laying down on the bed watching TV, and he was facing the door. He said this guy walks right across his doorway, wearing a black trench coat and a hat, And at the time,
See, I want to see that.
he said he didn't know what the hell he was looking at, and I asked his wife about it, and she goes, "Yeah." She goes, "I came home. He was on the couch with a shotgun in his
Yeah.
hand." So he said a few weeks later, he was telling his father-in-law about what he saw, and his father goes, well, you know what? Yeah, because his father-in-law, they all lived in the same neighborhood at the time. He was walking the dog, and when they passed up my buddy's street, he looked down the street to where my buddy's house was, and they said there was a guy standing on the street facing my buddy's house, black trench coat, black hat, just staring at the house. And his dog is a calm dog, real good dog, just went ape shit, barking at it and stuff like that. But his father didn't pay attention to it. They went down one street, because the way he would do it, he would go down the street, and then come back around, and then go back to his house. He would make a little loop. So when he came back down, he was making that loop around, going back down my buddy's street. He saw the guy walking away and make a right on the street. So, his father-in-law was like, which I know his father-in-law too, was like, I'm gonna follow the guy and see what he's doing. So when he made the right, the guy was gone. He didn't even see the guy anymore.
See, that's crazy.
Yeah. So then one time, he would say like all the fans in the house, the ceiling fans would just be on full blast, right? Somebody would turn the thermostat down to like 65 degrees, right? 60 degrees sometimes. He said it'd be freezing in the house. One night, his daughter, who was maybe 2 or 3 years old at the time, he said they woke up like 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. She was screaming, crying, He said he ran to her room, and she was laying face down on the bed. She had a taller bed. No taller beds are maybe like a foot off the ground, you're right? Well, she's laying on the ground, face down, and her front tooth is missing. Not only is it missing, but it's like her gum from up here, like the tooth came out this way,
Weird.
Yeah, like it came out there. He said all her gum was ripped. He said she was looking
like something took it and pulled it out.
Yeah, it's just, like I said, her gum was ripped off, and he said they were looking for a tooth, and her tooth was like 10 feet away from her.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He said, and after that, she would never go back into that room again. He said I think they only stayed there like maybe a couple of years after that.
Yeah.
They bought their home that they're in now. So I asked him, I said, well, what the hell, dude? I said, what was going on with the house? Did you ever find out, right? So this is something that I recently asked him, because I wanted to tell a story. And of course, I got permission to tell it. And I said, I want to tell you a story if I get permission to tell it. I said, but kind of go and refresh my memory again, because it had been a while since I heard all the stories. So the one thing he didn't tell me was that when they rented this house out, they were living in some apartments. They wanted to get a house, and they were in their father-in-law's neighborhood, and they saw this house that was going up for rent, and they stopped, and they were like, hey, can we look at the house? And they were like, yeah, the lady showing them the house said it would belong to her dad. He had just passed away, and they were fixing up the kitchen. He said the house, it was in good shape. It was nice shape, but they were redoing the kitchen, but only the kitchen. He's like, why would they only be doing remodeling the kitchen, not the rest of the house? He said that, it could have used it, but he said the house was real nice, and they liked it, and so they made it a deal with the lady right then and there. She's like, okay, y'all can move in 2 weeks. He's like, yeah, we'll move in. So they wind up moving in. As they're moving in, one of the neighbors says, hey, you got Jack's house. They're like, yeah,
Jack's house.
Yeah, they're like, well, we don't know Jack. I guess the lady we talked to was his daughter. Yeah, that was Jack's daughter. So yeah, Jack, lived in this house, and he killed himself here in the house.
Wow,
right?
They didn't tell him?
No, and so he's like, really? He goes, yeah, he was, he was terminally ill. He had cancer, and he had, he was ready towards the end. So instead of dying a painful death, he went ahead and killed himself, and he killed himself in the kitchen.
Wow.
Yeah. So Richard's like, holy shit, that's why they were doing the whole kitchen, right? And so he said he's got to looking around, and he went to one of the cabinets. He opened the cabinet doors. Like I said, they hadn't put anything in the cabinets yet, and he found a spot on the wall where they had spackled over this hole. There was a bullet hole. Yeah. Yeah. And so, he said even at that time he wasn't scared, or he wasn't freaked out or anything. It didn't bother him. His wife was kind of, she was kind of like, I mean, I wish I would have known this. It's kind of weird. So what he did was he would go around the house and flash the lights on and off. Jack's gonna get you. Jack's gonna get you. So he blames himself for all that.
Yeah. See, like spirits or entities and stuff that can move things. Like that video I got where something slammed that door or whatever they slam, when
Mhm.
they can do stuff like that, I don't believe in antagonizing them or anything like that because they could probably hurt you if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
Those people get scratched.
Yeah.
Stuff like that stuff's real.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. He said at that time he didn't even think about that kind of stuff. He didn't have that stuff on his brain, but he says that shortly after all that stuff happened, especially what happened to his daughter, he goes, man, because I really blame myself for all that, you know. And he
Jack's
says
gonna get you.
that's gonna get you.
That's funny, man. That's
Yeah.
kind of sad though. So that Jack guy was probably getting pissed
Yeah. Yeah.
because I don't know. Like I think of people that kill themselves, they end up stuck here
Yeah.
somehow. Yeah,
Yeah.
they can
And
linger.
but the other house that I used to live in, uh, we had we had a real bad leak in one of the restrooms, and it was actually belonged to the master bedroom. So my cousins, they did all that stuff, So I called them up and, hey, can you come take care of this leak and fix the restroom up? The sheetrock got all wet, and
Hmm.
he gave us a pretty good deal. And he's like, dude, I'll not only will I fix it, but I can like put towel on it and retowel everything. I'm saying, shit, yeah, man, fix it up. And of course, being family gave us a good deal. So
Hmm.
they came like on in the middle of the week. So the night before, they came to talk to us and let us know, hey, this is what's all we're gonna do. He had my other cousins were there too. There's a whole crew of them, and they were talking. And as they're talking, my cousin looks down at his arm, and he looks down at his arm, and he looks at his arm. He looks at my other cousin who's standing, 10 feet away from him,
Hmm.
and he's kind of rubbing his arm, and he's looking at my cousin like it's crazy. And when he does that, it was funny. Me and my family were kind of looking at each other like something happened to him. Something happened to my cousin. So he starts talking to us again, and then, I mean, not even 10 seconds later, he picks his arm up again. He's rubbing it. And he looks at my other cousin like, and my other cousin's like, dude, I'm over here. I'm not even touching you, So he moves to the other side of the kitchen where he's all by himself against the wall. And he's telling us again, I'm gonna take this down. I'm gonna do this. And he grabs his arm, and so I said, dude, what the hell's going on? He said, dude, somebody's grabbing my arm because they're grabbing it tight. He goes, come here. So I walked over there, and he grabbed my arm, and he squeezed the shit out of my arm because that's how it feels.
That's crazy.
I said, really? He squeezed my arm really tight. So the next morning when he shows up, he says, hey, come here, check this out. And I said, what? So on his arm right here, he had like fingerprints of a bruise.
Really?
Yeah. His arm was literally bruised, and you can see all the fingerprints.
See,
Yeah.
man, I don't recommend this paranormal stuff for just everybody either, because I think that they can not only can they do stuff like that, they can play havoc on your life.
Yeah.
Like they could mess with you daily. I think they can get inside your head. Make you ever have these random thoughts where you're like, nah, that wasn't even me. Like, how would I even?
That didn't happen.
It's like almost like,
but I know, that never happened. But somebody had warned me about my relationship, which wasn't good anyway. But it definitely got bad. There was a lot of fighting and screaming and yelling, things like that. And people told me that that'll happen.
yeah.
So
They definitely can feed off of negativity. They were doing that with me and my daughter's mom when we were seeing that black shadow, because we were fighting like crazy around that time.
Yeah.
What's weird is when I finally saw that thing and I told it to go away, and it left, and we didn't see it again, we stopped fighting as much too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think they can definitely affect your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why whenever I do speak to them, I try to be respectful. I don't want to make them mad.
Yeah, you don't want to try to make them mad or try to invoke any kind of evil.
Exactly. Yeah. You want them to be, if they are around us all the time, and you are aware of them, you at least want them to be on your side.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that.
Because they could be spiritual, like they could be our guardian angels or something.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be talking shit to your guardian angel, like, "Well, tell me your fucking name." That might be.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. But, well, shoot, man, we've been on this for longer than I expected, man. We could probably go on another hour on this thing, right? But,
right. Yeah. But we could do it again soon. We'll do more.
Yeah, man, we'll save it. Hopefully, maybe we do something next weekend. I like to do at least once a week.
Can we do can we ever have 3 people on this thing at
Oh
once?
yeah, man. We can have like 5 people. We can even have people call in. There's a phone
Yeah.
number, that people can call in and we ask us and talk questions. Of course, there's a little chat room. I don't know if yours has it, but people can
Yeah,
ask.
I have the chat. I
Yeah,
got the chat option. And
yeah,
then we can have like Jeremiah. Come on.
yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. Him and Stacy. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That'd be good to have.
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Cool, man. Well, that was a good one. I hope whoever watched enjoyed it.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna end the broadcast right here. So give me 1 minute, Shaun. Thanks
All right.
everyone for tuning in. I appreciate it.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah. If you have any questions, I'm on Facebook. You can come to the Beyond the Woodline. There's actually 2 pages. Beyond the Woodline, which is where this one is streaming from, and then we have the Beyond the Woodline group page. That's a private one, so that people can, comment or add or post in private. Don't have to worry about, your other friends or family checking you out. I'm at the point where I don't care if they know. But so not everyone's like that. Um, So if you wanted more of a private place, go to Beyond the Woodline group page. I'll share this to that page. And you need to get in touch with me. It's beyond.woodline@gmail.com. And you can, you have anything you want to ask, you want to be on the show, I'd be happy to have you. You got some good content. And Shaun, you got anything to add?
Not really. It was a good show, and y'all just check out my YouTube, Paranormal Shaun.
All right. Good deal, guys. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks, everyone.
Later, y'all.